Ashley with Paint It Up, and we're gonna paint this little chunky pig, okay? I'm calling him a patchwork pig because he's gonna have like some little patchwork designs and all that on him. So I thought it'd be cute. I need a little swig of my Dr. Pepper. But I'm really excited about this little guy because he's so cute. So let's start first with a little pink because, duh, he's a pig. So let me get a brush over here. I got hot mess over here. You hear me? Okay, so let's start by maybe doing, I think I want to add a little white to this because that's a little bright. I don't want him to be too pink. I don't want it to be too bright. I think let's even go down just a little bit more with the pink. I probably should have put this in a cup, but we're going with it. Can't win them all. Okay, so let's start by doing his face because I feel like he needs to have a pink face because he's a pig. And I'm just gonna paint right over the top of his eyes because I'm gonna paint those in black later and I can see my lines, so we're not gonna worry about that. Same with the mouth. I'm actually gonna paint the nose like a little bit of a different color of pink just so it'll stand out a little bit more. So I'm just gonna paint over that for a minute. I want to use kind of like a patchwork style, so I'm gonna use different colors, not just, you know, I don't want to get too crazy with the colors, but I do want it to be like this really fun little like patchwork style pig. He kind of goes along with my little chunky colorful hen and my chunky cow that I have coming soon too. So, all right, so I'm gonna paint that in. So we got that, and then let's go in and do the next part that I wanna do pink. I think I wanna do his feet pink on the back end, like his back legs or his back hooves. Do pigs have hooves? I guess they do. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that. And I'll do these whatever color I decide to do my pig section, I guess you could say. All right, so then maybe let's take the pink and lighten it up a little bit more to do this section right here with maybe just a little bit of a like more pale pink color, okay? So I need to get a cup to put my paint in. So I'm gonna use this and I'm just gonna take a little bit of this pink color and mix it in with this white to make a more pale pink. Paler, that's not a word, but whatever. All right, and so then I'm gonna paint this little section like a pale pink. I'm not exactly trying to keep like the whole thing pink, and I may end up going back and deciding that this is not what I was wanting. But we're just willy-nilly right here. Just kind of going with the flow, seeing what happens to our little pig here, okay? We're gonna add some designs on him, or her, whatever. I'm gonna say this is a boy pig, maybe. I'm always painting girls. I never paint boys. I'm always painting girl animals. Okay, so there's that. And then let's maybe do this ear up here with the light pink. Okay. And then let's think, what other color? Maybe like I'm kind of leaning toward maybe like a pale blue and a pale yellow, or maybe even like a pale green, sort of. I don't want to throw anything too crazy on there, but let's just go with it. You know, I mean, what do? You don't like it, you just say, well, that didn't work the way I thought it was going to, so we're gonna step back and repaint. And then that's what you do. So I'm gonna use a little bit of white in this so it's not so like green. And I'm gonna do this little, I got a little hair in my brush. I hate when you get like a brush and you got one little hair that just sticks out on it. But I wanted to do kind of like some fun colors on him and make him just really cute. And honestly, I'm feeling this color. It's very springy. Okay, so we got that. All right, and then let's do his ear this same color, this ear up here. Green ear. Okay. All right, so we got our pig coming together, and I think I'm gonna do this like a really light blue. I used this earlier on a project today, but I don't want the blue to be that dark. So again, gonna come in, put a little white in there, lighten it up. Let's see what happens. I think I could do this. Yeah, I'm digging it. Maybe, we'll see. I think it'll be cuter once we add like the designs on it, of course, but all right. So I've slung blue paint all over everything as I've been painting. We'll touch it up. And I'm gonna do the little patch on his butt. I'm gonna do it white. I just keep slinging paint. Good gravy. Okay, so let's get that painted in. Sometimes when you add white, you end up not having to go back and do a second coat, but I'm putting it on kind of thin, so I may end up having to do a second coat. Really just depends on your colors. Okay, there we go. Yay. So cute. Okay. I love it. Too stinking cute. All right, so now I'm just gonna squirt a little bit of white paint in here, and I'm gonna go in and paint in that section with some white for the little patchwork, or the little patch on his bottom there. Okay. Okay. Then let's do our little pig nose. And we want to do it the lighter pink, I think. I feel like that would make the most sense because I don't want it to be, I want it to be, and I may change my mind on this because I may look at it and go, no, that looks crazy, but let me ponder it. I think it's gonna be cute. It looks white right now, but I promise it's not white. It is a light pink. It just looks a little lighter because it is wet. I'm gonna have to come back and touch up the nostrils, but I'll do that later. Actually, I think I'm just gonna paint over those nostrils to make my nose look better. Then I'll come back and paint the pink in on them. And if this ends up looking too light, I don't think it will once it dries. It's supposed to be the same color as the body over there, so I feel like it'll be fine once it dries. It will end up being the color that I want it to be. It's supposed to be this color right here, so we'll see. It might end up being a little too black. I might end up having to throw a little bit of pink in there. I'm kind of second guessing that it's not going to be too light because I'm at the bottom of my cup here. So we're just going to put a little pink in there and smear it. Okay. All right. Cuteness. Okay, so I do want to add like some little designs on here, but I first need to dry it. So I'm going to stop for just a second, blow dry it, and then we'll come back, okay? Okay, so let's go back and let's do some little details on our pig. On this blue section, I think I'm just gonna go with some simple polka dots because you can't go wrong with polka dots. So I'm gonna put a little white there, and I'm actually gonna use this pretty big like brush handle because I want them to be a decent size. So I'm gonna go in and add in my polka dots for my pig on here. All right, and then let me wipe that off. And then let's maybe choose to do some little flower shapes for the light pink. Maybe like just some basic, like simple little flowers that are the color of the darker pink. I mean, let's do that on the green. Yeah, let's do these flowers on the green. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this brush, and these will be sketched onto or etched onto your door hanger, of course, but for this, like, is my like thought process of what I want it to look like. Because when I started working on the pig, like on my computer, I just didn't really like him on what I had drawn out originally. So I'm kind of like going back and just adding some different stuff on there. So I'm changing it up a little bit from my original design, and that usually happens, especially when you start just kind of like looking at it in a real person versus, you know, computer digital kind of thing, because I'm not the best like digital drawer, so I sort of struggle when I'm designing the SVG files of what I want them to look like. And then that's why I like to paint them, because then I can go, oh yeah, that's what I wanted it to look like, I forgot. So that's where my like thought process goes most of the time when I start working on things like this that I want to change up or just make it look a little different, change the idea that I originally had. So that's why sometimes my SVG like might look a little different. Okay, so I'm using some yellow mixed with white to make like a pale yellow, not too pale, but, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make like some pretty like big like flowers. I want to make some big flowers on here, just something kind of different. All right, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna flip it around to this side so I can add them in. And I'm just doing like a little loop flower to make my pig have a fun little flower pattern on him. Never can go wrong with flowers. I figured that, you know. I mean, you just, flowers always are fun. Most people, I mean, I feel like most women are like, I don't like flowers, I don't want to get flowers, but when they get flowers, they love them. I love flowers, so I'm always like adding them to things or wanting to paint flowers. I love painting them. So just the fun, whimsical ones, and even the, you know, the more realistic ones, I guess you could say. I like them all. I like them all. And I'm just going in and adding like little pieces of a petal on here so that it kind of just feels a little bit more like cohesive with my flowers. Okay, so I have everything sort of worked out with what I wanted my patterns to be. I do want to go in and add some leaves with these. So I'm going to go in and put some little leaves with these. And of course, like I said, these will already be sketched onto your blank, so you're not having to recreate them. But then I'm kind of like going back and forth, but you can always paint over the blanks, the lines that you don't want. I kind of hesitated to do the lines on there, but then I feel like it makes it easier for most people to paint, and they appreciate the lines, so the lines will probably stay on there. So okay, so cute. All right, and then I'm gonna do another I say line, but leaf. So cute. All right, let's flip him around. And let's do our little green on there. And then I think I want to take this dark green and do like some dots on this, even though it's going to be kind of hard to see because it's not really a contrast. I'm just trying to add in like some different elements. Okay. All right, so I've done that, and then we'll come in and add like the details on it. These ended up not needing 2 coats because I guess I had so much white in them, so that worked to my advantage. I was happy about that. And I do need to touch up right here and then right there. And I need to fix the nose holes. I mean, technically, I guess I could do black for the nose holes, but I'm gonna do them pink. I think. Yeah, I think I am. I think I'm gonna keep them pink. Okay, and then I'm gonna flip back around. Excuse me. Because I want to take the white and do another coat on here for the patch. I think I'm just gonna do the patch like really simple with like some little stripes, nothing like real fancy. I think I'm just gonna do some little stripes on it. Not quite sure what color though. Maybe a little blue to pull in more of that blue color. That might be a good choice. Let's do that. So I'm gonna take the blue and I'm gonna go in and just do like, maybe like a pattern like this, really just faint with the blue paint, and then maybe go back the opposite way. So we'll go back that way. Nothing real fancy, you know, just keeping it simple. Y'all know me, I don't do fancy. That one piece got a little thicker right there, but you know what? It's fine. We don't stress over that, right? Absolutely not. He's adorable. All right, so next, I don't know why, but when I look at this, I think of lemonade. Is that weird? Like, I don't even know. At this point, I have no clue why I think of lemonade. Don't even ask, because it's probably not even gonna make any sense. Let me put these in some water, and then let's do the, oh snot. I stuck my, that fell on that. Let me touch that up right quick. My thing fell on my dot. Sheesh. I'm just over here trying to do my best, you know? Just trying to do my best. Okay. So, fix that. Let me fix it a little bit more because it's a little jacked. Thanks to this stinking thing that wants to do crazy stuff. It's always something. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, I think I'm going to use the black to do his eyes because, you know, he's got to have some eyes and a mouth. So let's paint that in, and I'll do a little highlight on him. The Patchwork Piggy is coming together. And then let's do his little mouth. I'm just tracing the line that's on there. Stop it. I cannot even handle that right now. So cute. Okay, so let's now go in, and I need to add like the outlines and things like that on him just to kind of bring him together, okay? So I'm gonna dry him really good so we can come back and do outlines, and we'll be back. Well, I'm back and I just completely forgot to hit the record button. Imagine that, only me. So I'm in here just steady painting, not paying attention to what I'm doing. Now I'm outlining these kind of very whimsical, like not even making sure that I'm kind of doing like a double line. I've decided to use a paint pen this time just because I didn't want my lines to get too crazy, but then I was like, you know what, I kind of think the crazy lines are what's gonna make it cute, like just these very like whimsical, imperfect lines. So that's what I decided to go with. You might disagree with that, but I think it's gonna end up looking really cute when I get done by the time I finish. I'm hoping, I'm praying. I mean, I don't know. It could be a train wreck. I mean, let's be honest, it could. So I'm just going in and then I'm adding in like these cute little like lines for the, and I will say I'm not doing an outline with double lines, I don't think. I may come back and do that. I don't know though. I don't think it needs it, but I think I'm going to. Let's see. Let's just do it. I don't want it to look messy, but I'm thinking at this point, I'm just kind of going with it. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's just, it needs to look kind of that way. So here we are. So for these little flowers right here, I think I'm just gonna do like a little black center on them. They're not my favorite, but I'm gonna see what they end up looking like after I get done. I'm kind of thinking I might have messed up by outlining them, but no, they look okay. All right, and then I can do like some little lines on here just to kind of break it up. I'm just trying to add as many like little details on it as I can, because I think that's what, when you got your eyes just going in all these little different directions, I think it just makes it nice and fun and interesting to look at. So, and again, like I said, I'm not making sure that my lines are like perfect. Now you might want to, but I'm just trying to go for fun and a little silly and, you know, all the things. So you might change your mind and be like, Ashley, I ain't doing all that because that don't look that good. I need my lines to be precise. And that's okay, because everybody's different. We all like it our way. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you're like, nope, I ain't trying to do all that, I don't like it, no harm, no foul. I'm just trying to create this like really fun, like imperfect, crazy almost kind of style. And I think I'm getting there, honestly. Okay. All right, so now I have my design done, but I want to add a little outline around the nose. And then I want to use the white to add a little highlight in my pig's eyes, just so they have a soul. So we're gonna go in and do a little highlight in the eyes like that. And then I can also do like a little highlight in the nose too. I don't know if I like the highlight in the nose. Yeah, it's cute. We'll go with it. Okay, so when I get finished, I have this cute like little fun little patchwork pig. And you know what, honestly, I kind of like the idea of putting like a little patch on either his cheek or like his head right here. I'm kind of leaning toward that. So let's do this. Let's put little white paint there. And then let's just do like a little patch, like right here for his head. Isn't that weird? I know what you're thinking, Ashley. You've lost it, sis. But I just think it'll be cute, like to break up all this pink. Because as I look at it when I'm painting it, his head, and of course you already have the patch on yours, so you know that, but I like to paint the patchwork on his, I feel like he needs a little patch on his head. That'll be cute. I like it. Let me just blast this with the dryer. And then go in with a second coat right quick, just to kind of touch up. And then I think I'm gonna use a little bit of the green on this. So I think what I might do is just come in with maybe like some green stripes, like a really quick, just green stripe. I'm not gonna do that. And then I think I'm gonna have to do like a gingham or something because I feel like that stripe looked weird. So let's just go ahead and do the gingham like this. And then I'll take the white and I will use that, and I will go in and sort of wipe over the spots that are, this is just a quick way to like tone down a buffalo check or a gingham print. There we go. It's cute. It's got a little patch on his head. I love it. All right, let's draw that and then we'll outline it. All right, and then he's had a headache. This is like me. If I was a pig, which we're not gonna go there because, oh me, I could probably be a pig now. That's cute. And then I can go into and just sort of like add a few like little lines in here to create that you know, pattern in there a little bit, just to add something in there. But then he ends up looking so cute with his little patches. Oh my gosh, I love it. So cute. Don't you just love him? He's adorable. Yes. All right, well, I'm going to put a picture of him at the end of this so you can see what he looks like with a bow and finished up. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, friend.